Yo, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, this is the Andrew Light, and we're glad to have you here. And if you're already here, thank you for coming back. I really do love you, and that you know of. So this is the Rant episode 3. Yeah, you know what the Rant is all about. As this channel states, right? This is a place where I rant personally, and then I thought that I should be. There's a series that we're doing. That's the Rant series, and in the Rant series, it's basically me talking about certain things that I feel like are not right, things that I feel like they're not going well in the society, and we're trying to like point out to them and just talk about them. This may eventually become a podcast in the future. I've said that I think a few times now, so I believe that's going to happen in the future. So let's get into the video. Today's video is very, very different, and yeah, not that different, but it's a bit different. It was triggered by a post I saw on a friend's status, right? And she was talking about this, and I felt like it's right that I make a video about it. And I just felt that, oh, let me make a video about this. And it's basically about perspective. And what we're talking about today is very, very simple. And the topic is just that your perspective is not the truth. Your perspective is not the truth. So, right, she was, I think there was a quote from that friend's post. Her name is Adasa, by the way. I've spoken about like quite a number of times on this channel. She said, perspective is not the author of truth. Perspective is not the author of truth. And I 1001% agree, because perspective is not the author of truth. As a matter of fact, your perspective is not the truth. So, going to the video, what actually brings about perspective? Perspective is better from experience, right? These are things that you sort of get your own perspective from what you've experienced, what you've seen, what has happened to you. That's how you build perspective. And then repeated perspective is what becomes a belief, right? So you start to believe that because you've seen it so many times happen. And then from the moment it start becoming a belief, somehow, somewhere, it will eventually become a certainty. That's if you it's going to become a repeated perspective now. It's going to become certainty. Do you get it? Repeated experience is perspective, and then repeated perspective is certainty. And then from that, you'd see a point where you're getting to believe that that's the truth. And that's what we always bet stereotypes. Now, let's not even go deep into that. Let's come back to perspective now. Now, let's see this fact. Perspectives are not wrong. Your perspective is not wrong. When I say your perspective is not the truth, what I mean by that is that your perspective is not the general truth. Now, what you've seen, what your experience is not the same as mine. So you cannot be the judge of the whole universe based on what you've experienced. You cannot be the judge of what is happening in the society based on what you've seen, right? That's where we get stereotypes, because people eventually believe that people just believe that their perspective is the truth. Yes, they may be true. Your perspective may be true, maybe your truth, right? But then it's not our truth. Now, see perspective as a window. This is what's happening. See perspective as a window. I stay here in Ekpe, right? And some persons, they stay in Ikoyi. And as a matter of fact, these people stay in Ikoyi. Some of them, they've not even come here at all. They've not seen Ekpe before. They've never been to Ekpe. They've not gone out of Ikoyi. Like, they've never really experienced stress, right? And then there's some people staying in Lekki Phase or Lekki Phase 1. Which one floor they did, right? There's some people staying around that side. Now, if I stay around the area that there are floods every time, I'll say, oh, Lagos is flooded. There's flood in Lagos. And then you stay in Ikoyi, because there is everywhere is clear in Ikoyi now. You're staying in Parkview Estate, for example. Everything is going smoothly. You're staying in Banana Island. There's nothing like that. Now you'll be like, that's a lie, because there's nothing like that in my place. But this is it. That's two truths. That's your own truth. You're not lying, and I'm not also lying. So perspective is, because I'm seeing it, that does not mean that that's the general truth. Perspective is also, because I'm not seeing it, that does not mean that it's not happening. Right. So I don't really have a lot to say about perspective, but then I have a lot to say. Right. It's just very, very bigger than what we think it is. There's just a way people believe that their perspective is the truth. People just say men are polygamous in nature. Who told you that? Who told you that? Now, sometimes These perspectives, they are crazy because you can back them with evidence. I mean, your experiences are evidence, right? So if you have to like experience the first man, the second guy, the third guy, the fourth guy, the fifth guy, let's say to like the 10th guy, and you're like, oh, men are polygamous in nature. You see that pattern in all of them. Now, for us to really come and say, oh, what you're saying is not the truth, it's going to be a bit hard. But then, you've not experienced every guy. Yes, let's be frank with ourselves. You've not experienced every guy because this is where stereotypes starts to happen. And then that's what bets ethnic bigotry. The whole Yoruba behaves like this, the whole Hausa people, this is the way they behave. You can just say, oh, I have experienced some Hausa persons behaving this way. You know that the whole tribe they behave that way. Have you met every one of them? You should stop that shit because you've experienced something, because you've seen it countless times. That does not mean that that's the general truth. That's what you've seen. See it as a window. Your environment sometimes can even determine your perspectives in life, right? Now, if you stay in Nigeria, for example, or let's say you grew up in Africa, you're going to be like, oh, the world is messed up. Our leaders, they are corrupt. They steal money. They embezzle money. This and that and that and that. And it's someone in one country like that they are doing very well. They are doing fine in their country, and then they are telling you that this is not it. Now, this is what happens. That does not mean that what you've experienced is not true. That does not mean that your perspective is not correct. That's to you, right? But then it's a perspective at the end of the day. It can be opposed, right? That's one thing that you should believe. The moment you start creating a barricade based off your experience, what experience should do to us is to help us navigate life, because you've seen this time, and you've seen it the first time, and then you've seen it again. It has happened to you like for some time now. You should learn from that. You should become a teacher, just as that coach says, experience is the best teacher. It shouldn't be that you create a barricade based off that. I mean, there's a lot in this life, like you've not seen anything. So you should not, nobody should believe that, oh, my perspective is 100% correct based off what I've said, right? I know it's very hard, but if we can behave that way, I think would the country is going to become like a better place. The society is going to become a better place. So all I'm just trying to tell you watching this video, all I'm trying to tell myself right now, because at some point when I was thinking about this, right, I wanted to oppose myself because I was thinking about it. For example, if you say, oh, Nigeria, I even have like a book I'm writing currently that I have some particular things that they are not just my perspective, because they have like they have I back them up with evidence, right? So like they are evidence, yeah. They have evidence. So when I say certain, let me give you a particular example. So if I say like Nigerians are gullible, right? Or if you say Nigerians are what's the word now? Let me just say, I don't want to use the word gullible, but I already used it. Now, there's a part of the book that says something like that about how the general public is looking for a savior that will come save them. Hence why I believe that they are gullible, right? That's like a truth to some point, in fact, to some point, right? And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, guy, I'm trying to make a video about this. Do you see that I'm already opposing what I'm saying? But then it is the truth. But I'm not going to come outside and say, oh, this is it, this is it. Because the way we paint this picture is how we build culture around it. Most of the times, this perspective that some of you have is not even your experience. It's because it has become a culture, a way of life. So people have been saying it, they'll be like, oh, don't go close, don't do business with Igbo guys because this is it, this is it. It's not because you have experienced it, it's because that thing has become like a way of life. It's not a culture. And then you just be like, oh, this is it. So, bro, allow your experience be your teacher. Don't create a barricade around your experience. And your perspective is correct. Your perspective is your truth, but not the truth. Thank you. I'll see you in my next video. So if you're watching this right now, hit the subscribe button. I won't say I won't be doing this in my videos again. But let's just say it for saying sake, sha. Hit the subscribe button. Like, what will you do again? Comment. Do whatever you want to do with the video, but don't report my account. Thank you. Bye.